complex has been told by doctors he is 100% disabled. But he and others like him are having to fight the Social Security system to receive disability payments. This evening, Laura Brewster reports on both sides of the argument.
Donald Dupie has letters from his doctor stating that he is a victim of AIDS-related complex. That means he's been exposed to AIDS. As a result, he's had a variety of illnesses and says he's been told he may die within 2 years. Dupie's doctor has told him he shouldn't be working anymore. But the Social Security office says he doesn't qualify for disability payments. The notice came as a shock to Dupie. He's scared he'll lose his home if he doesn't get help soon.
I want to live what little bit of time I've got as comfortable as possible. I'm not asking for any miracles. I know there's no cure for the disease. But what I've got, I'd at least like to hang on to. You know, it's the only thing left in my life.
Social Security officials acknowledge that Dupie is ill, but say they have very strict rules on who qualifies for disability, and they point out that Dupie does not.
The Social Security definition of disability is that the person must be unable to do any kind of substantial gainful activity. This doesn't mean that he can just because he can't do his former job that he's going to be eligible.
Dupie plans to appeal his case. He feels he must fight this battle to gain Social Security benefits for ARC victims, not just for himself, but also for a growing number of others just like him. Laura Brewster, TV4, Eyewitness News.
Should AIDS testing be expanded? The question in Atlanta this evening. The National Center for Disease Control is sponsoring a 2-day conference on the issue. It involves testing pregnant women, engaged couples, and hospital patients. The CDC claims up to half the pregnant women with the AIDS virus will pass it on to their children. Hospital testing would give doctors useful information on their patients, and testing on engaged couples would protect the non-infected partner.
It's interesting that the media...
Channel 13 News.
Tonight, the group Citizens Against the Spread of AIDS is holding an informational meeting at Sonora Desert Hospital. A county health official will be on hand to answer any questions parents might have about AIDS. Well, you know, more than 600 folks in Pima County have been tested for that deadly virus since last spring. But results of those tests may not be telling the whole story. Channel 13's Saul Sines found out from those who know firsthand the virus may be more widespread than test results indicate.
If you had one wish, what would that wish be?
Health. I don't want to die.
But the fact is, Donald and his friend Reedy are dying. They have AIDS, a disease that destroys the immune system. Numbers released by the Pima County Health Department show that of more than 600 people who have been tested for the AIDS virus since last spring, 25 tested positive. Some of those 25 could just be carriers. Others could have full-blown AIDS.
Nobody knows why some people develop the actual disease, why some people's immune systems falter earlier than others.
But is 25 an accurate number?
No, it's much higher.
Even the Pima County Health Department estimates there could be 50 times more than 25 people carrying the deadly virus. That's because the 25 or so could very well have infected others. England says the AIDS epidemic has hit our community in a series of waves. The first wave struck the homosexual community. The second, drug users who share needles. And the third is hitting sexually active heterosexuals. That's pretty much when it covers everyone.
Sure.
Most
anybody having unprotected sex.
The Pima County Health Department says there are 2 things one can do to avoid getting the AIDS virus. One is abstinence, or just not having any sex at all. The other alternative is something people consider somewhat more realistic.
Please practice safe sex.
Safe sex means intercourse with the use of condoms. Donald and his friend don't know how long they have to live. They do know, however, they want to be around long enough to make people aware AIDS has brought too much grief and killed too many people. Saul Sines, Channel 13 News.
Arizona's youngest heart transplant patient continues to improve today. Tiny Vanessa Lopez, who...
Acting a disease from a blood transfusion has caused anxiety among some accident victims and surgical patients. But researchers are now saying such fear may soon become a thing of the past. As Brian Ziegler reports, they think they've found a way to kill a number of viruses in blood, including AIDS.
It sounds like something straight out of Star Wars. A laser that can kill any virus found in donated blood. Well, the idea isn't so far-fetched. The technique is now being successfully used by researchers at Baylor University in Texas. They say that a combination of a non-toxic dye and laser light can destroy a number of viruses in blood without harming the blood itself. It's leading doctors in Tucson to say that blood banks could now have a foolproof means of guaranteeing the safety of their donated blood supplies.
I think it's really exciting. You know, I don't know any of the real major fundamentals of the actual treatment itself, but anything that could assure the blood to be sterile of contamination with the AIDS virus or any other virus would be a major breakthrough.
The system has been successfully tried on the herpes virus in blood, and scientists say that with refinement, the technique could also be used to clean a pint of blood in just 15 minutes. AIDS patient Don Dupie thinks that for him, the news comes too late. Yet he says if it can kill sexually transmitted diseases, why not apply it to AIDS-tainted blood so that others like him will have a chance to live?
If it does kill the virus in bagged blood, why not try it on removing an AIDS person's blood and killing the virus and then putting the good blood back in the AIDS person's system?
Researchers say they still need to conduct more tests, and it could take up to 5 years to refine their technology. But if they're successful, they say laser technology could provide a safer blood supply. Brian Ziegler, Channel 13 Nightcast.
Stoney Golden is heaving a sigh of relief tonight. He's spending his first night back in Tucson after arriving here from Tennessee earlier in the day.